Hello everyone, so in this video we are going to see the grid in Material UI. But actually Material UI uses CSS flexbox to render this grid. So it actually behind the scene it actually uses flexbox, but we can actually use like a grid. So it is actually used to make our website responsive, make our layout more responsive to the small devices or in the large devices. So this is really made our life is very easy. So if you see here, they are using a component called grid, and this is the container of everything here you can see. And they are specifying that x-axis, like extra small devices will be, it will take 8 spaces. There are actually it actually divides our whole screen in 12 column. It actually divides our 12 column, so it is now taking 8 columns of that 12 columns. Okay, and also it is taking some space, so it is spacing of 2 so it is spacing taking here. It is actually called gutter spacing. So this one is taking 8, they are specifying it here by a prop, and this is taking 4 column. It is specified here, and this one also 4, and this one is 8. You can actually make layout very easily by using this grid component. So actually we are going to build this layout today with grid in Material UI. So this will be the layout. If you just see this is a little bit responsive. We actually have tried to make it as responsive as we can. So this is the sidebar, and this is taking the whole space in the small devices, and the main content is here, and also you have footer, and in the larger device it will be like this. The header will be always in the top. So this is the thing we are going to build today. So they are specifying, and they are actually making this a little bit responsive here. They are saying that in extra small devices, and they are in extra small devices it will take 6 column, and in the medium devices like tablet it will take 8 columns. So it will be a little bit large in the medium or tablet devices. Same as here in the extra small devices it will take 6 column, and in the medium devices it will take 4 columns. So you can actually specifying like this, and you can go on extra small to large, extra large. So you can use these prefixes, responsive breakpoints prefixes, to specifying how much space one container or one item will take. You can also increase the space between them by spacing property. Okay, and you can also specify like this column spacing. You can also make this a little bit more responsive to the device. In the extra small device it will take one amount of space, and in the small device, a little bit weird device, it will take two amount of two worth of space, and in the medium device it will take 3. So like this you can also make the spacing a little bit responsive, and you can also specify columns here like this, it will be a responsive columns. So they are actually rendering everything here. They are not actually making responsive here, and by like this you can do a lot of things. Also you can say the direction. There is a property direction, justify content, align items. So you can reverse them, column reverse them, row you can change the direction. You can make them in the start or in the center or in the end space, or you can also say space between them. You can do a lot of things like we can do in the flex box, CSS flex box. So you can also do these things here by property. So if we actually go to the code, my code is empty right now, so we will try to build a layout, a simple layout. And let's say first we have to take the take the container. So I will say container, and I'll give some spacing. I will not just give spacing for now. Let's see what happens. So then we'll go inside and say grid. It will be item, so it will be a header item. I will say it will be the header of the page. So it will take from the extra small devices, it will be take a whole, so it will take 12 or full width. So and I actually will change the background color. I will want, so I will say bg color will be like black or something. Do I have black? Okay, I do, but I actually have to put it here. It is actually became black. So this is taking whole space, whole page. You can see it here. So I can give some padding here if I want. Okay, let me just padding, give some padding like 8 or something. This is too much. I will give 3 or something. This is okay. And I want one more thing, that text align or something like that would be center. Okay. Okay, this is the header of the page. You can see as a layout. We are not building actual header or actual sidebar or something like that, but we are making a you can say a layout, a responsive layout. Then I want a sidebar here in the desktop devices. I want a sidebar here. So I will take another item. This will be sidebar, so I'll comment it out for sidebar for better understanding. So I will say this will be sidebar also, sidebar. And so it will not take 12 like 12 column whole page. It will, let's say for now, it will take six columns. It will take 6 columns from the extra small devices. For now I let it be like that. So it is actually taking it here. So I actually have to give some space. So I'll just go to the container and say spacing will be, let's say 4 for now. If we give it, actually it is not working. Let's see what is happening. Okay, okay, let us find it out. If we just don't give the padding, then what happens? Okay, even then it is not taking the spacing. Everything is fine, I guess. Yes, bg color, sidebar, grid. If we go to the documentation, let's see what happened. So if we go here, go to the top, and okay, we have to actually define an item inside of this grid. So we'll just copy it here from here and paste it here. Okay, we actually have to import item from somewhere or something like that. Item, okay, item is not actually item is actually a paper component. They have actually styled it a little bit, so you can also style like this if you want, but it is actually a paper component. So I'm not actually taking the whole code. I'll say paper, and I'll import it from. So if I go now, it is actually became like paper. And also I'll make this one also paper, and I'll paste the header text, and also I will say this will be sidebar, and this is the sidebar. And we actually have given color in the wrong place, so we actually have given color in the wrong place. We should have given the color in here in the paper or something like that. So if we now go, this is like taking the actual spacing, it is actually now working as we want. And now we can give padding if we want. Padding will be for like 4 or something. 4, if we give it 4. Okay, isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Like I think we are doing it in the wrong place. We will do it in here. If we do it in here, then it should work. It is not actually working. What if I use the sx property and say padding will be 4 or something? Now it is working. I actually have to use the sx property. Same, I'll just copy it and paste it here, and now it is actually working. So I actually don't want this padding, I actually want height to it. So I will say the header of the height will be something like 60 pixel or something. 60 pixel, yes, and this became 60 pixel. And I actually want the text in the middle, so I'll say display will be grid, and I'll say place items will be in the center. So it is the easiest way to make things in the center. Okay, then same with this, and with this one also. I'll just copy this code and paste it here, and I want this one's height actually will be like for the you can say 40 vh or something. 40 vh or something. Okay, we actually don't we can't. Okay, if we say 40 vh or something, it is not. What if we say 100? It will take too much space of 100 vh. We want there. We'll say 90. What if we say 90? So this is not working. 60 vh, 70, and I actually want 80. Okay, this is now a little bit oil enough. I actually don't want this much white. I will say just 3. If I just say 3, and I also want some space from here. So what I can say is I can say some margin right or some margin left will be like 3. If I say 3 margin left, and from the left we want margin 3, and then we want something the main content here, and the main content will be in here. So we'll take another grid like this. It will be the main content. So I'll say this one is the main content area, and I will make this also main content, and I will make this all we have given 3 columns to the sidebar and some margin, and in this time I will say we have 12 columns, so 3 is gone, so 9. If I say 9, then what happens? Let's say it is taking the whole space. If I say 8, what will it will take some space. There is some space here, but we actually do not want this spacing. I will reduce this spacing to 2, and this is a little bit better looking. And what if I say this one will be 9, so this is taking the whole space, and I don't actually want this much space here. I can say, what I can say is row gap or something. Row gap will be like 2. If I say 2, it is not affecting. Row spacing will be 2. Okay, this one is row. I actually have to say like column spacing 2. Column spacing 2 is not also working. So what I can do is I can go to the core documentation and see how can I space things out. So I can say spacing 0. If I say spacing 0, then what happens is actually removing spacing from the row also. That what I don't want. We can say 2. It is actually giving 2 amount of space, and we actually want this. We don't want this margin from the left. That is why actually it is taking too much space. Sorry for that. Now it is looking a little bit nice, and we actually don't want the 9th. Like we will go with 7 or something. Then we have some space here, or we can also say we want 8 column, and should this main content would be. And we can do something here, but I will not just do anything for now. I'll just go with 9 and give margin right to 3, same as here, both are same. And I want a footer here, so I will take another grid like this, and it will be footer of the page. So let's say footer, and this will be footer of the page. And we don't want any margin from any side, and we don't want 80 vh to it. We will just can say 10 view height, and we can also say this will be 12. It will take whole page. If we see it here, this is actually looking the footer, and I actually will reduce this so that it will look like in one page application. So I'll just remove it from 80 vh to, let's say, 70, so that and I'll make this one's height will be 70 10 vh. If I, okay, this is 2, this is, I will just make this one a little bit bigger, so I'll just say 70, not 70, it will 80 view height, and this one is taking 80, and these two are taking 10 plus 10 20 and some spacing. So I have to say this will be 78, and this one will also be 78. So we also need to remove a little bit, 75. Okay, now it's, I think, good. It is looking like a one page application. You can make this more complex if you want. I can also make some, okay, we can make it a little bit more complex. So we are going sidebar, and we have the main content area. We'll actually not make this that much height. We will just say this one is let's say 25 bh or something. There will be content in the main, in the real world it will be an auto height. It will be actually uh, 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 increase is height as content is in content increased. So in the real example it will not, actually you will not give a specific height. For now I'm just showing that. So we want some cars here in the main content. We can actually specify some cards. If we want, we can actually make it 75 if we want, and okay, let's 25 make it, and we have more like 55 view height we can use. So we'll take three items here, three paper items. I can just copy this code, copy this grid code, and we don't want any margin from any side. We just want it to be 55. Now it will be 25 bh, and it will take 3 columns. And also I just, this is like, I will make a card section. It will be card 1. So I'll just paste it 2 times more so that there are 3 cards here. So they actually are going in the next line. We actually didn't want them to go in the next line, we just wanted to go here. So what we can do is, this one will be 2, this one will be 3. Okay, what we can do is, what if we make them a little bit smaller? If we say 2, and this will also take 2 columns, and this is not coming here. What we can do is, let's say this is the main content, and this was the sidebar. So if we remove some margin from here, it is not still working. Okay, this is, I think, taking the whole space, but okay, let me just go here and inspect what is happening. So let me just, okay, this one is the main thing, and this is taking the whole space here. Okay, what we can do is, we can put these cards into the main content. What happens then? Let's see. Okay, we actually need a container here. So we actually need a container here. Okay, we'll make this a grid container and paste them in here. So it will be item, and I think this should work now. It is actually taking, we will want this to be whole height 75. This, and yes, now it is actually working. Yes, so we'll just change the elevation of these papers so that it looks a little bit nice. Elevation will be 8. Okay, now this is looks a little bit well, and we'll just say this is the main content, and this is the main content, and we want some space here. We'll say spacing will be 4, like we can say 4, and we don't want that column. We want like equally divided. We can say we can remove these things, and this will be equally divided to the whole space. So this is a layout you can make. You can make this responsive. You can say in the x-axis this this column will be 12, and this is the header section. I don't want to change the header at all. I just want to change the sidebar. In the x-axis this will take whole space, but in the larger device it will take 3. Okay, so if we go now and try to see it in the mobile device, in the x-axis it is taking the whole space. So we'll also remove the margin in the we can also remove the margin in the x-axis in the small devices. So we can also do that if we want. Like we can say margin left, we can say margin left in extra small device. We don't want any margin, or we can say any margin, but we want 3 amount of margin in the large device. Now it is taking no margin, but if we go to the large device, it is taking some margin from the left side. Again we can this is too much. I don't want to make in the large device. I can say MD, so it will be more in the tablet. It will be in the sidebar. In the small device it will take the whole space. In the large device, in the medium device, it will be a sidebar. Then we don't have to again in the extra small device we want this to be a whole, take the whole space. So we can say, if you go here, and I'll make this for the large and medium device, and for the extra small device I'll say take the whole space. Okay, so if I take the whole space, it is not actually taking the whole space. So let me just figure it out why it is not working. What we can do is in the okay, I have just misspelled, so I have to say XS extra small device. Well, okay, in the extra small device it is taking the whole space, but in the medium device it will take 9 column of space. So this is a responsive layout, you can say. And this is taking too much height. You can also reduce that height as a device. You have properties like MD, XS, LG, or extra large. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next video.